bitch.
That's right. We're back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my little vlog series, documenting and chronicling my little IRL adventures when I, go out to explore the world. I decided to open up with Blue Sea, Blue Sky, or whatever. I forget the exact title. What was it again? Blue Water, Blue Sky, sorry. Because, it's just that kind of mood. I felt like, I just did the little beach summer event that they do every year in FF14. So I was kind of in the mood for this, Figured I'd open up with this music and this little view right here. Even though this is PSO2 NGS, but we got the ocean, we got the blue sky, it captures the spirit of it, I was trying to catch a quick little, see if I could make a new little intro screen with the summer event, with the little boat that they have right now in FF14, but I couldn't find a really good angle for it to look, I'll have to keep exploring and trying over the weekend, see what's up. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? Alright, let me make sure everything's up and running properly. Make sure everything's up and running. Yep. Audio's going through. Looks like the visuals are good. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Auto ad already did its thing. Alright. Let's lower the music and get on with it. Put it at 5% for now. Oh, 15. Actually, let me see the levels on the... Oh, 5% because there's a little video coming up. So let me put it at 5% right now because we're gonna start with a video. Alright, Zara, we'll catch you later during the outro. There she goes. She's enjoying her time at the beach. So I believe where we left off was when I found one of my twin cosplayers. A fellow Kirito. This guy. Yeah, Lantis and I were talking about the differences between the textures and obviously the materials that our outfits are made of. And she said his looks like it's probably a cheaper material like polyester or something. Because everybody's working on a different budget, right? We're all on different budgets, so you got to work with what you can. Yeah, we saw this. This is where we left off after seeing a bunch of other we looked at the swords, the gun blades, stuff like that. Now, yeah, I mentioned we have a few more Itasha displays and some miscellaneous stuff that happened around the convention when it was wrapping up. And then after that, it's back home for more pictures of Shade the cat. There's going to be a lot of cat tax in this one. Yeah, the next little video, before going back to the Itashas, was a little bit of the outro ceremony, which is very much like the opening ceremony for Anime North. They had that performance that I was talking about. So here's a little bit of that. I got a minute of this. This is what I was talking about, where this is kind of cool and all, but it just went on too long. This is at the end, but at the beginning it was very similar. It's pretty much the same thing. They were doing performances like this, and it just went on too long. I got bored and left, and then came back later when they were wrapping up the opening ceremony, talking about stuff, But they first opened the opening ceremony like this, and this is also how they opened the ending ceremony, the closing ceremony. This is literally the beginning. There's an Inuyasha right there. I just noticed the ears and the hair and the red robe. And that's it. That was pretty much when I was like, alright, whatever. But then I sat there and watched a little bit and was like, well, I'll see if they start eventually talking or something. But at this point, I ended up, shortly after I stopped filming this, I got a text message from Lantis saying, I think she said, well, it was a Discord message. She said, Leon, the convention's over. Get back to the hotel. We're going to go out for dinner or something like that. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, well, I'm glad I'm not enjoying this too much. Because, not that hard to pull away. So then I just responded telling her I was at the I told Lantis I was watching the closing ceremony, but in the same message I also said, but it's kind of boring, so I'm gonna leave. So it's fine. I'll leave and head back to the hotel anyway. Like, who cares? I didn't mind. And Lantis was like, oh, that's right. It's your first time here, at Anime North. He was like, you can stay and watch the closing ceremony, get your full like convention experience. And I appreciated that she said that, but I was also like, it's kind of boring, don't worry about it. If the closing ceremony had been like the one at SumiCon, which I actually enjoyed a lot more, there was a lot more witty banter and just a fun vibe to it, and like I just liked it better. I would have actually wanted to stick around to see the whole thing, which I did. But I'm saying if Anime North had hooked me the same way, the opening and closing ceremonies, I would have actually stuck it out and seen the whole thing for the whole thing. But I was like, whatever, So yeah, I just started walking back to the hotel, and then we went out to eat our last night at the convention. And here's some, on my way out, as I was gonna head back to the hotel, I passed by the Atasha displays, and this is what I saw. A couple new ones from last time. I think there's any more videos coming up here, so I can go ahead and raise the music back up 10%. I'll leave it at that, though. Yo, that ass though.
I hate when the chat is silent because I know what you're doing, okay? You are twisting your shafts right now.
He's pulling his cock out.
Something along those lines. Damn. Well, there's a lot more ass. I saw that one the other day. It's the same one from before. She looks familiar. Oh! I haven't seen I haven't seen the anime. But I have seen GIFs of her on Discord, and people have mentioned the name of the anime she's from. Normally she's wearing like a maid outfit or something. But yeah, I just know her by her appearance. I don't know her name, and I don't know the name of the anime that she's from. I've seen her around on like GIFs and stuff on Discord. Oh, this is obviously just a fan drawing of her in like a little devil outfit. Looking all cute and sexy. I don't know this chick. She from Nikki? Maybe. I don't know. No idea who she is either. Oh, I took video of this. Okay. I was somebody stopped me for a photo shortly after this video, I believe. When I was starting to pick up the pace and walk back to the hotel a little bit faster. One last person asked me for a photo. This is my cosplay. That ass is very well made though, I gotta say, on this car. Hers too, but there's like a shine on this one that I kind of like a little bit more. Plus that pose is a little bit more I like this one better. Damn. There we go. I didn't realize that the photos I was showing were part of a video coming up. Didn't catch that. It's so neat seeing the cosplay culture. Just the overall vibe of the place is really cool. Like, I definitely want to go back. But it also left me inspired to see if I could check out even more conventions next year, too. Maybe even some, like, local ones that are closer to me. Because I happen to live in a place where some pretty well-known ones happen, so I wouldn't even have to travel very far for them. I would just have to pay the ticket price, So... It was... I think this was right after I got asked for a photo. Yeah. It was just before this part, so because I wasn't recording when the person came up to me and asked me. Yeah, this was right after I took that last photo. I don't. The person who took the photo with me, I don't know who they were cosplaying as.
Oh, and the best part is,
But again, I'm an anime tourist, so there's a lot of characters I don't recognize, you know? This was closer to the front, so we were kind of like on the side by the parking lot right now, and then as I kept walking, that last video you saw, if I kept walking forward, you eventually get to like the front, close to where the free rent photo shoot was, but not so far out, and there was people playing here, playing some music. So this is while the closing ceremony is going on, so they're pretty much, everything's shutting down slowly and people are slowly leaving. That's right! I filmed this. I wanted to record because they were playing Saraya's song from Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Hey, who knew that just a couple months after this they were gonna announce a remake for that game, huh? These guys had impeccable timing. This is still at the hotel. We haven't left yet, but Lantis was showing me this little book that they got signed for a friend. They wanted it. They got it signed by the what's her name? I keep forgetting her name again. The one I mentioned before, who was the voice actress for Ino and Guilty Gear X2 and a bunch of other stuff. She's like pretty famous. It's from a couple days ago, you know, we talked about this. They got her to sign this on the inside of the book. But this is just the front cover of the book. So they got it signed for a friend, and then for some reason I ended up taking a random ass picture of the umbrella that I bought when I was there. I bought it from the hotel, which of course they extorted us because of they knew the storm was going on and people were gonna want umbrellas. So the front desk of the hotel sold me this for like 30 bucks. Which reminds me, even though this is a random photo that has nothing to do with Starbucks, this reminds me of the other Starbucks story I haven't told yet. It's not as exciting as the first one, where June threatened to kick my ass if I came out of the Skylon Tower with a Starbucks. But this came pretty close. At the front desk, they have, of course, a little snack bar. You know, if you're passing through, it's like what you would see in a vending machine. You know, you could buy some energy drinks, sodas, stuff like that, right? So they had Starbucks. They had the little glass jars that you can buy, right? You can buy them in bulk from like Costco and places like that, or you can see them in vending machines or places like that, right? But of course, this is it's the front desk of a hotel. For the convenience, they charge you like fucking triple what it normally costs, right? So when we were making the arrangements for the hotel, I wanted to make sure that there was a refrigerator in the room we were staying at, because I wanted to have some kind of milk. It could be normal milk, which I don't like so much, because it just my stomach and intestines don't vibe with it too much. I'm not lactose intolerant, so I don't get the shit or anything like that. But it's still just, I just get like little rumbles and it's just kind of uncomfortable basically. So I prefer nut milk if I can instead, like almond milk, stuff like that. But so I needed a refrigerator, so we made sure we had one. But then when we actually went on a little like supply and provision run, I completely forgot to actually buy what I just said. Like I could have got like some almond breeze, something. Like I should have bought something when we did a supply run at like a Walmart nearby. And when I say nearby, it was actually like 15-20 minutes away from where we were staying. But we went on a supply run and I totally forgot to actually buy the milk that I could have put in the fridge. So I was like, shit, now what do I do? And the reason I needed it was just so I could take it with some of the supplements that I brought from home. Like some of the Blueprint supplements I took with me, because they had travel packs for a while. They don't offer them anymore, unfortunately. I have the last of them with me, because I'm taking them for another trip coming up in October. But so I took some of the Blueprint travel packs that they used to sell on the Blueprint website. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, my About Me section on Twitch, if you scroll down there, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's in there. But I wanted to get some nut milk for that, and I was like, shit, well now I didn't get it, now what do I do? So I went down to the front desk and I was like, oh, there's some Starbucks, I'll just get that. It's like $9 a bottle. I was like, fuck! And then they would just, like, I was actually pulling out my card to like pay for it, but they would be like, oh, you can just tell us the room number, and I was like, okay, but who are they gonna charge it to? And so of course I said the room number, and then they ended up charging it to the room, which had been paid for, like, it had been paid for by Lantis and June. It was under their names. So I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna see the bill for this shit. And so every day I went down there to buy another one so I could mix it with the protein powder that I bought. So I just said supplements, I know I was being vague. Specifically the protein powder that I was drinking it with is supposed to go with like nut milk for taste. I could have drank it with water, but it wouldn't taste as good with water, so I bit the bullet and kept getting Starbucks every day for that, every morning that we were there, to take my protein powder with that shit. And yeah, it was like $9 every bottle. And so I was like, they're gonna see this at the end. And yeah, when we checked out, they were like, what the fuck? Lantis and June were both like, dude, what is with all the Starbucks bottles charged to the fucking room, Leon? Like, they were just like, son of a... And I was like, don't tase me, bro. So yeah, I always had the intention to pay for it, so I just kind of laughed it off and was like, don't worry, I'll send you guys the money for it. And I did. What was kind of funny about it, and I still have to ask Lantis about this, like maybe I'll DM her later. But what was kind of funny about it was the fact that I never actually looked at the receipt with the charges to the hotel room or anything, so I didn't know, but I know how much the chick at the front counter was charging me, like verbally. She told me they were like, again, I forget the exact price now, but I made a mental note of the price every time that I bought one every day, and was just like, I just did quick maths in my head and then I was like, okay, it adds up to this much. And then I vaguely it was a shot in the dark. I vaguely estimated the tax and added that to the total I got in my head. And I sent that amount. I was like, that much plus this much in tax equals this much. And I sent that to Lantis, and I was like, and I told her after I sent it, I was like, if it's not enough, if I underestimated, because it was basically an estimate, I just did it all in my head. I was like, if I underestimated, just let me know. I'll send you more to cover the difference. And I still haven't asked her exactly how much it was, but I remember later back at the house, she was just like, the amount you sent me was literally right. I forgot the exact phrase she used, but she said it was like literally right on the dot. Like it was, she was like, it was so spot on. Like, like she was saying it was kind of crazy that I just nailed it without looking at the receipt. Apparently it was incredibly accurate. I was like, shit, well now I kind of want to know how much did the receipt say, But yeah, even though I paid for it, even though all that shit had, like I paid for it and everything, despite my best efforts, June still added another one to the coño counter. He still said, another one to the coño counter for you buying all those Starbucks. And I was like, why? I paid for them. What's the problem? And then, as if to rub it in, a few days later, I think my last day there, when it was my plane, that day I was leaving. I was going to go back to the airport and take off and go home. In the morning, several hours before my taxi showed up to pick me up and take me there to the airport, we decided to do some more last-minute shopping in in their local area. And I unprompted, Lantis came out of a store. I went to a different store. They went into one store, I went to a different one because I wanted to use the restroom. We met back up at the car in the parking lot, and Lantis had another Starbucks jar, and she gave it to me. She's like, here. And she was like, she told me the price of that one, which was like $2 or $3. She was like, here. It was like $2. She's like, that hotel ripped you off for every single one of those bottles. She was basically saying, you suck. And I was like, look, I know, okay? I know I was getting ripped off for the convenience, but I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a car to get around. I had no way of getting any other milk from anywhere else. So I just, yeah, I got ripped off, but I know that, like, I knew I was getting ripped off. You didn't have to demonstrate by how much, all right? Like, so yeah, I paid 3 times as much for each bottle, and then that's when June reiterated, several points added to the coño counter for that. Good times. But yeah, made it home safe though. Ooh. And of course, when we made it home, I took more obsessive photos of Shade, who looks like he's napping here. Yeah. Look, I can pet him with my mouse. In this photo. He's such a cutie. Damn. I took several photos of him. He became the star of the show again once we got back. Look at him. He's so adorable. Look at that. I was trying to get the perfect fucking photo on him. He's so cute. He's sitting on the window staring at me. What's she taking photos of me for? Oh. Taking a cat nap. He just closed his eyes for a bit, but there's a video here. I'm waiting for him to open his eyes, something. Oh, there it is. It's like he wants to sleep. Like he's sleepy. He's definitely like he's doing this basically. Like it's like oh I'm awake. I'm awake. That's that's what he's doing. You see his ears twitching.
That's amazing news.
He heard something.
Oh my god.
Check and see if I'm still looking, buddy. I didn't hear what the hell I just said. It's all good, buddy. You can rest your eyes. Oh, that's the end of the video. It's too muffled for me. Maybe you guys, if you guys are wearing headphones, can make out what the hell I just said, but I didn't. I don't know. So, unsurprisingly... Whoa! What the... Okay. That was weird. Go back to where we were. I have to reset the screen capture. I don't know why it darted around like that. Okay, here's the video we just saw. There, that's what it was supposed to do. I don't know what the fuck happened. So yeah, unsurprisingly, more shade photos, I was gonna say. Couple more. And then, okay, there's some photos coming up where I don't remember the context of this. I'm just gonna show you the photo and maybe you can figure it out, but Lantis decided to show me this giant fish. I kind of wish she was here right now just so I could ask her if she remembers the context of this conversation or why we took a picture of this fish. But looking at where her laptop is and everything, and knowing that this was like my last night there before my plane ride home the next day, I can tell you guys, we were both, but me more than her because my tolerance is very low, we were both very stoned. We were trying to we were high as hell. We were talking about a bunch of random shit, and at some point our conversation led her to whipping out her fish.
He's pulling his...
And showing it to me, and I don't know why. I don't remember the conversation that led to this. But, yeah. This is a giant fish. And, maybe if she comes in here at the last second before I end the stream later, I'll come back to this and I'll ask her about it and see if she can remember what the fuck our conversation was even about and why we were talking about this fish. Cause I have no fucking idea, dude. I have no idea. Oh, that's right. We also found the mosquito, which I think it's a pretty big mosquito, yeah. Which both of us, it took us both again, we were both kind of stoned, so it took us a second to realize it was a mosquito, because I was like, what is that? I think I'm probably gonna, you might hear the conversation right now, actually. I was kind of like, what is that? And she was like, oh, it's probably just like she brushed it off at first, and then I was like, no, I think it's a giant mosquito. And she was like, oh shit, I think you're right. And then we tried to kill it. She got up first and tried to use like, I don't know if it was like a paper towel or something, and she tried to kill it, but it flew off, and then it got on the ceiling, and she couldn't reach because, you know, short people problems. And then so I was like, here, I got this. Give me the give me the hope she wasn't here to hear that. She I was like, give me the paper towel, and I grabbed it, and I was just like, bam, just fucking nailed the thing and killed it. And then, you know, we tossed it out. I mean,
Stay in the window.
it's either that or a fucking giant mosquito. I don't know. What did she say that it was? I mean,
Stay in the window.
it's either that or a fucking giant mosquito. I don't know. You'll get a better look at it.
Oh shit, that is a giant mosquito.
I can't hear what she's
saying. Not one bit. Fuck off.
I didn't realize I filmed this. He fucked up, didn't he? He's on the ceiling now.
He's on the ceiling now.
Did I leave the camera recording when I? Oh my god.
Bruh.
Oh, you are.
Make sure I did. Oh yeah, I left the spot.
Yeah. Okay, now we send her to a watery grave. That's why I use toilet paper and not the tissues.
Yes. And that was at that moment I realized I left the camera recording. Okay, so I didn't realize I recorded the whole thing, everything I just described about, you know, her trying to kill it, then me killing it on the ceiling because she couldn't reach it. Everything, all that happened right there. Most of it with the black screen because I just stupidly forgot to hit the stop record, but I'm glad I did because we got the audio version of it now. I'm glad I left it recording, but it was just, you know, staring into the fucking couch, so it's a black screen. But yeah, there you go. There's proof of what I said. We were trying to kill that giant mosquito, whatever the fuck that was. Now, this next picture, this was on that little mini shopping trip we took the day I was leaving, on the day of my departure. And like I said, well, yeah, like I said, that it was that. And I took a picture of this specifically because these are illegal in the United States. If I bought one of these and tried to cross the border with it and would have got caught, I wouldn't have because the guy never searched me or anything, the guy at the border. But if he had decided to search my shit and he found this, I would have got fined $1,000 fucking, I think. And they would have confiscated it. I would have lost it. Because these are illegal for the sole purpose of the fact that they have little toys inside. Like little Funko Pops in this case. Kinder Joys. They have these in Mexico too. My parents actually did buy me some of these back in Mexico when I was growing up. So I am familiar with these. So they have them in Mexico as well as in Canada, but they're illegal in the States. Why? Because they're hazardous to kids. They're a danger to kids. They're deadly. Yeah. But meanwhile, you go to Texas and everybody's walking around with a fucking sawed-off shotgun and a pistol on their waist in full display. That's totally fine. Guns aren't hazardous to kids. But these chocolates with the toys in them, God forbid. Yeah, fuck that. We better put some strong tariffs on those and make sure to confiscate them from anybody trying to smuggle them across the border.
Bruh.
Dude, bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway, and this is just... I just took a picture of this because I wanted a reminder of the little story I already told, the Starbucks story. This is the one that Lantis bought me that same day from the previous picture, the day of my departure. This is the one that she bought me to prove that I just to rub it in. She was being nice. She was giving me I was getting a free Starbucks Frappuccino, and she was giving it to me, right? But she was also being like, yeah, you paid triple for these back at the fucking hotel in Toronto. It was just another...
You suck!
She gave it to me. I was like, thanks. Also, you know, I made that little quip about short people problems or whatever earlier, right? That was kind of because she made a quip like that. I think it was on this day. It might have been this day, or it might have been even before Anime North. At one point, when I got into the car, see how I'm in the backseat here? I fucked up, and I wasn't stoned or anything. I was sober. But I fucked up as I was getting in, and I hit my head lightly on the car door frame. You know, like what happens to CJ in the intro to San Andreas? Where he goes, ah! You know, and then fucking Pulaski laughs at him. That happened to me. I was getting in, but I wasn't handcuffed. I was just getting in on my own, and I still hit my head lightly. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't too bad. And literally as soon as it happened, what does Lantis say? Miss Hyper Empath. She's like, tall people problems. That's what she said. I was like, wow. I was like, thanks. The sympathy is outstanding right now. And that was it. So that was that Starbucks photo was pretty much the last of when I was with Lantis in June. They were wonderful hosts. And you know, we said this is at the airport after. And we said our goodbyes at the house when the person came to, you know, pick me up. Lantis teared up a little bit, and that got me to tear up, and you know, we were both crying and hugging each other and saying goodbye. And you know, when you have good friends and you really care about each other and stuff, you know, it's like it's like a second family, man. Like goodbyes can be, you know, they're bittersweet, as they say, right? What was the saying? How did that phrase that I had in my head go? It was, parting is such sweet sorrow. I forgot where I got it from now, but it stuck with me when I said it once. It's just like, yeah, it hurts, man. Like having to say goodbye, I mean, I've talked about it several times on my stream. Goodbyes always make me tear up, you know? And it hurts that much more when it's, because like I tear up seeing goodbyes, like when I see it in, like, you know, movies, video games, or even in real life between two people who are saying goodbye to each other or something. Like it gets me, right? And then when it's me saying goodbye to somebody, even more, it hurts even more, you know? It's just like, it sucks because we had a good time, man. It was a fun time. It was a super fun trip. So didn't want to leave, but I had to go home, man. I had to go home. Anyway, let's put the music back on so it's not so depressing. Like I said, it was a fun trip though. It was a fun trip. So don't be sad that it's over. Smile because it happened, right? That's the thing we gotta hang on to here. So yeah, this is just me taking some video of some of the airports because it was a different route back. I believe this is, I went from Buffalo, not to Detroit this time. That was on the way there. On the way back, I went to Atlanta. I think this is when I arrived at Atlanta, Georgia. Or it's Buffalo before I left, before I took off. I think this is actually Buffalo before I left. I wanted to film the difference in this was not in San Francisco. I have no idea what these pod things are over here. It's part of like how the TSA does things here in Buffalo, the Buffalo airport. So I kind of filmed a little bit of it because I was like, what the hell is all that over there? What are those machines for? I don't know. I guess every airport just uses like slightly different technologies, you know, for the same purpose. I mean, it looked like it's something where you put your luggage through and they probably, you know, x-ray it to see what's inside. I'm guessing. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is still Buffalo. So I'm getting on the plane here. Do not touch. Yeah, this is Buffalo. is a piano version of that one song. I forgot the name of it. What was it? One of the lyrics I'm trying to remember. You only like hate the road when you're missing home. Like the whole song is like talking about how you don't know what you have till it's gone and stuff like that. It's like it's very sad and tearful. I remember that. Even though I'm filming here, I was choking up just because it's a sad song and I was still feeling the weight of it, of the goodbye that I was just talking about, man. So they're playing this music and I'm like, dude, why are you guys trying to make me cry right now, man? I already cried enough saying goodbye to Lantis in June when I was leaving. What the hell? Why you gotta play this music? You know what I'm saying? There was one of those moments. Most of the rest of these photos and videos from here on out is just the trip home. I just wanted to capture, like, you know, some video footage of the sky and different weather conditions throughout the whole trip. The flights back. This is leaving Buffalo. Great Lake of Ontario. Damn, my stupid camera just focused on the glass instead of the, you know, what's behind it. It focused on the window. See this crack right here? Damn. Yeah, I keep blurring out. This is why there's several videos of this, because I was trying to fix that. I was like, stop focusing on the fucking window. Focus on what's beyond the window, damn it. I was trying to use the engine as a focal point for my... There we go. Much better. So that my autofocus on my camera would stop focusing on the window itself. I think I was checking the focus there, because I've done that multiple times, I've noticed in these videos, where I look at my hand like that. I was trying to see if it was blurry or not. See where the focus was. Let's put this little net to divide the first class from everybody else.
Sign, just click back on it.
Gotta make them feel like they exclusive, right? These are the people outside of the club. And those are the people in the club. The rich people club. Though I may or may not have temporarily joined that club on the second flight.
Into Atlanta. However, we are closing the cabin down a little early today due to the expected turbulence coming into Atlanta. It's already a little bumpy in the back of the aircraft. The back of the aircraft is moving side to side. With that being said, my flight attendants will not be coming through the aisles at this time for their safety. They will be remaining in their jump seats. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board today. To help us prepare for landing, please ensure your seatbelts are fastened, your tray tables are stowed, your aisle armrests in the resting positions, and your seat backs in an upright and locked position. All large electronic devices.
You gotta make sure to time, like, your food and drinks and all that stuff pretty well when you're on a plane, because whenever turbulence hits, or when you're close to landing like right now, sometimes it's still 30 minutes plus out, they turn on the seatbelt sign and then you have to stay in the seat with the seatbelt on. You can't go use the restroom. So if that happens and you're still 30 plus minutes out from landing, you're gonna have to hold it in for a while, you know, because you have to land, you gotta get taxi along the airport till you get to the gate, and you gotta unboard, then you gotta go find the bathroom. Like, you gotta be careful if you don't want to accidentally piss yourself. Atlantis! How was the anime? I have a question for you, by the way. I'm glad you made it, because I actually have some stuff I wanted to ask you. But yeah, I hope Suzume was good. Hope you guys had fun. Hey, the watch streak! Lantis Grayfield is currently on a 30 stream streak!
What? Dylan! Son of a bitch.
It was good. Sad but good. The feels. Yeah, I do think I remember. We were just talking about feels too. Because I was just mentioning, you know, how much we teared up as we said goodbye when I took off, when I left. Let me see, which one am I at? 6,381. Okay, I got something I want to ask you from earlier. So, the last night that, before my departure, we had a very, I mean, we got pretty high, we got pretty baked that last night that we were there. And I think Shade kind of joined in on the vibe here, you know? But while we were having stoned conversations, I remember you pulled out this fish, and I don't remember why. Do you happen to remember the conversation we were having that prompted you to pull out this fish and show it to me that I just realized has a noose around it? Oh, it was something your sister gave you. Okay. Yeah. I was like, what is this again? Earlier I was just like, what's with the fish? Okay, so somehow we started talking about something to do with your sister, and then you mentioned the fish. Okay, I got you. Because I was like, why is this? It's like when you, I've heard people say stories when they black, because I don't drink much, but this is close enough. I've heard people tell stories of when they black out drunk and the next day they wake up and they're like, why is there this thing next to me? Or they look at their phone and they're like, why do I have pictures of this? You know, so I was kind of like, what in the world? Okay, so now the fish has more context. Also, I didn't realize I recorded as much. I didn't realize I recorded this, but do you remember this too? Same night? This mosquito thing or whatever? I mean, it's either that or a fucking giant mosquito. I don't know. You'll get a better look at it.
I don't like that. Not one bit. Fuck off. Oh no!
He fucked up, didn't he? He's on the ceiling.
No, zero.
Yeah. Because you couldn't reach it on the ceiling, so but I could reach the ceiling, so I was just like, here, I got this. Listen. Can barely make out what we're saying.
Oh, you got.
Make sure I did. Oh yeah, that was the spot.
Yeah. Okay, now we send her to a watery grave. That's why I use toilet paper and not the tissues.
Yes. Yeah. So I actually did not realize I left my phone recording until I picked it back up there. I know I was obviously recording it there, but when I put my phone down, I just forgot to hit the stop recording. So now I have an audio recording of us trying to kill that fucking thing. I was like, yeah, I got this. Bam! I fucking got his ass. It's funny is I actually recently killed something also kind of unidentified in my house a few nights ago. It looked like a giant beetle, but I didn't have my glasses at the time, so I'm hoping that's what it was and not a cockroach. I'm pretty sure it was a beetle though, because I've heard cockroaches are notoriously hard to kill, and this beetle just exploded when I killed it. Like when I stepped on it, it turned into mush. From what I've heard, cockroaches aren't that easy to kill, so I'm pretty sure it was probably a beetle that wandered inside. I really hope so. I really hope it wasn't a roach. Yeah. So yeah, I was showing that's pretty much the only thing that you might have missed from a few minutes ago. I talked about the ridiculousness of, you know, how these are illegal in America, but they're perfectly fine in Canada and Mexico. You know, they gotta protect the kids here in the US by keeping these away from them, but, you know, they can totally be around fucking assault rifles and shit like that. And then I mentioned the $2 Starbucks Frappuccino you bought me, compared to the $9 ones that I was paying for at the hotel, ripping myself off because I'm an idiot like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all you missed. Kinder Joy is the American version? But you still can't buy them here though, right? Because you said they were still... Because I'm pretty sure I took this before we... This is the day, This is before I got on the, you know, I went to the airport. Oh, so these ones... So this one I could have smuggled. I could have taken this then, because this was in Canada still. They're saying I could have bought this and I could have actually taken it safely across the border. Okay, so I was thinking of... So the ones I'm thinking of have a different name then? And those ones actually have the toy inside? I'm turning the music back on. There we go. I guess I got these confused with the... Okay. I gotcha. Thank you for the Starbucks Frappuccino again, by the way. I appreciate that. As you gave it to me for free and you were like, here, you were paying triple for the ones back at the hotel, you suck. And I was like, thanks. Yeah, so that's it though. That's all you missed. You're caught up now. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about how my parents did get me and my brother some of these back in Mexico growing up. When I was like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, we got some of these. It was nice. I liked, you know, cracking it open, getting the toy, and then eating the chocolate egg. Like, nom 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 nom. It was super tasty. Really nice. Gotta protect the kids, though. Can't have those here. Instead, let's just have assault rifles and stuff. That's safer. Okay, so we were on 6,381. Let me switch to this photo and go from here. It's because if I click on the videos, it'll open up a video player instead, and I want to capture the picture window instead, if that makes any sense. Technical shit, don't worry about it. The illegal ones are wrapped in foil, and the egg is hollow with the toy in the middle. That's what... Okay. Very different. I gotcha. Do you know the name of those ones? The ones with the illegal one? The ones that are illegal in the US anyway? It's Kinder Surprise. Yeah. That's what I remember it being called in Mexico. In Spanish, it's Kinder Sorpresa. Kinder Surprise, same name. It translates pretty easily. Kinder Sorpresa. Alright, let me get the screen capture. So the other thing I was saying, I totally forgot to tell you about this when I was going home, Lantis. But when I got on the plane on Buffalo, you know how, I mean, we teared up and hugged each other and said goodbye and all that stuff, right? I was still feeling it in Buffalo, especially when the car pulled away from your house. But even here at the airport, and then, of course, when I got there, they were playing this fucking music. Only missing home with... Like, dude, I was like, come on, man. I was like, they made me tear up again on the fucking plane while I'm waiting for it to take off. I was just like... Oh, that's the wrong button. You bastard! Yeah, that emoji is exactly what I was feeling in this moment. I was still thinking about you guys. But I think the hardest I cried was in the car ride. Like, you know, when we hugged each other and said goodbye, as soon as the car pulled out of your guys' driveway and started moving away, and I saw you guys going back into your house, I fucking lost it. I was a little embarrassed because I'm in front of a stranger. You know, the driver is just some dude that I'm paying to get me to the fucking airport. I was a little embarrassed, but I couldn't hold it back. I was just like, you know, I was a wreck. I was crying pretty hard. I was a complete wreck. And then this fucking triggered me again on the fucking airplane. This is fucking music, man. I was like, God damn it. So I wanted to share that with you, so I'm glad you made it to the stream so I could show you that, because yeah, that was something I meant to actually DM you about, but I never, these things kept going and then I totally forgot, but yeah, that did happen. It was a very feels bad. This feels bad. But hey, it just makes me look forward to next year that much more. Alright, so the rest has just been random airplane shit. Let's get back to where we were on this. We were on this video, I believe. There, a heart. So I think this is close to arriving to Atlanta, Georgia, or I think this is, sorry, no, I remember where we were. This is after the plane from Atlanta took off towards San Francisco. This is the longest flight by far. It's gonna be nighttime by the time, I mean, I'm going from the East Coast all the way to the West, so of course it's very long. It's pretty trippy watching the time change when you do a flight like that, because you relive the same hour over and over and over several times. This is like, because as time would move forward, it would suddenly jump back, and then again one more time. So I lived, I forgot what time it was, but I basically lived in like the 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. 8 or 9 p.m. I was stuck in 8 or 9 p.m. for like 3 hours. It just kept resetting because we were moving time zones heading west. And I was just like, I'm in a time loop. I was literally in a time loop, man. I was literally stuck in a time loop. Those happen in real life. You just gotta travel west fast enough. Okay, we're about to confirm exactly whether this was already the plane to San Francisco or if this was still heading towards Atlanta. Because the next photo after this shows the map route. Oh, this is still from Buffalo to Atlanta. I can see from the preview right now. So yeah, this isn't the one from Atlanta yet. This is barely arriving at Atlanta. Oh, this is the one where I think I caught the rain droplets condensing on the window. Maybe? Lost Champ? If it is, it's got to be in this video. Otherwise, I don't think... Yeah, there's no way. Because I'm pretty sure it was raining in Atlanta. Well, there's a couple more videos coming up, but maybe I caught it, maybe I didn't. We'll see in a second. We'll see in a second. I think this will be the last vlog. There's all that's left is pretty much the return trip home, so there's not much to like yap about too much right now. So yeah, even though there's like several videos and stuff and photos, I'm pretty sure we can wrap it up here. So, like, meaning we don't need to have another stream. Like, I think this will be the final part for this segment, for this series, I guess, for the Anime North vlog series, I guess. Yeah, this is, yeah, we were still heading to Atlanta from Buffalo. It's good stuff. The fucking focus trolled me again. Probably gonna skip through some of these because mostly just clouds. Yeah, I just want to capture some footage of like the ground from up here, but then the clouds will get in the way like that. It's also nice just seeing the clouds up close like this. They look like cotton candy, man. Bucket of sugar, as Lantis called it. I forgot that. Maybe we did mention that a few vlogs ago, but one of the things that Lantis bought in the Walmart run we did for supplies before settling into the hotel at Anime North was a bucket of cotton candy. We kept calling it a bucket of sugar because that's what it is. It was a bucket of sugar. It's just, you know, reach in and grab some pieces, rip it out, and just fucking munching. Bucket of sugar, yeah. Lantis kept saying that whenever I would look at it and we'd mention it, we'd point at her and talk about it. She's like, bucket of sugar. And it doesn't break even, of course. There were times where I would reach in to grab and it was like an enormous piece and I was like, oh god, I would try to split it. And Lantis was like, it's fine. It's like, whatever you get is what you get, you know? Fuck it. Like, who cares? I was like, thanks. That's so generous of you. I'm definitely gonna be more prepared next time. Now that I know, like, the whole vibe, I'm gonna be more well prepared. I'll also have a lot more money, too, to work with. Never mind, ignore the fact that I splurged a little bit on the second flight back, first class, and all that. Don't worry about that. That was, Oh, here it is! Yay! Perfect distraction at the perfect time. So this is it. So I did capture. I knew I captured it. Yeah. When we were descending, you know, into the final layer of clouds closest to the ground, this is where I captured rain literally condensing on the window. The moment it happens, right here. It literally just doesn't suddenly start streaming on the plane like that. Because that's how rain forms in the clouds. Where we are right now. It just comes into existence. It's just the cloud itself transforming into water. Because clouds are just evaporated water. So it just literally manifests. And then it falls on our heads and gets us all wet. Motherfucker, we're buying a dozen of those damn Starbucks drinks before we get to the hotel. I know, I'm sorry. See? You see, anybody who was watching before Lantis showed up, I was telling the truth. They're not letting me live it down. Her and June were both on my ass about it. They were both like, "Why the hell did you buy all those Starbucks at the hotel?" You let that hotel rip you off. I know, that hotel loves me, man. They made so much fucking money out of my dumb ass. $9 for a Frappuccino. Okay. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because that was the other thing I wanted to ask you about, besides the giant fish and all that stuff. I mentioned on stream a few minutes ago that I charged them all to the room. There was actually one or two I did buy by myself, but most of them I charged to the room. But I never saw the receipt, so I didn't see exactly the full total that you guys got charged. But I added it up in my head and I estimated how much the tax was going to be. And then I sent the full total of my own estimation, the full estimated total in my head. I sent it to you, and you mentioned that what I sent you was actually very spot on. There's $2.25. Yeah, there you go. It was $2.25. Okay, see, I knew it was somewhere between $2 or $3, so I wasn't too far off. Yeah, I mentioned that's why you bought me that one, that just to rub it in and be like, "Here, idiot, this was $2.25. You were overpaying for this shit."
You suck.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier. I did mention that. But yeah, I did want to ask you, like, I mean, you probably might not remember now either. Like, this is something we could just talk about in DMs later, but like, I never did see the receipt. but you mentioned that the amount I sent you was very spot on. And I'm still curious how close my aim was. Like, how close was I to the bullseye with the amount that I sent you? Was it like down to the dollar or almost down to the penny when I sent you my estimate of how much they charged you guys? How much they charge the room, I guess, the hotel. That's what I'm curious about. Okay, we're on this one. Because you were like, dude, the amount you sent me was so spot on. And I think I was going to ask at that moment how much it was. But somebody came into the room and started talking, and we just kind of, like, the conversation just changed directions at that point or something. Something happened that interrupted the conversation. But I was always curious how spot on I really was. Because I know I sent, like... Well, actually, the amount I sent was not just for the Starbucks. There was something else I owed you guys, too. Yeah, because I was like, I didn't pay $109. It was like 100 and something, but it was because I was combining it with something else I owed you guys. It wasn't just the Starbucks, yeah. The Starbucks alone, I don't remember how much. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. Either way. Again, if you saw the hand thing, it's just me trying to get the camera to focus correctly on what I wanted to focus on, and not the fucking window. I was like, focus on the rain and the clouds, fucking camera, not the window. I think it was off by less than $1. Hell yeah, dude. Was over or underestimate? Did I send too much or not enough? I'm guessing I said not enough. Because when I was making the estimate in my head, I was like, I think this is it, but if the tax is a little bit higher, it won't be enough. That was my thought when I sent it. So I'm guessing it was off under. It was under by less than $1. I'm guessing. I'll get you those extra 50 cents the next time I come over there. I'll bring it in Mexican pesos, so you can have pesos as a souvenir. I'll smuggle it. It was a smidge over. Oh shit! I overestimated. Okay, sweet, cool. That's like a little tip then. I left a tip. It was totally intentional. It was calculated. I left a little tip. That's pretty cool though. Because I've never been somebody who's actually been good at doing math in my head. So when you told me that, I kind of low-key felt proud of myself. I was like, oh shit, let's go. I was like, I'm getting better at this. I was mostly happy that I was somehow able to estimate the tax. Because that was the one blind spot. Because in my head, I was like, okay, $9 times this many drinks. You know, I bought this many times 9. So that part was easy. But then I was like, okay, but how much is the tax? And that's when I literally just threw shit at the wall. I was like, I'm gonna guess it was this much in tax, and I sent it. So I'm actually pretty impressed with myself to know that I was that spot on. I'm happy with that. I nailed my tax estimate. Okay, now we're actually arriving in Atlanta. All right. This is mostly what I wanted to show too, was the rain condensing on the plane as we came into the clouds, so. Tax is 13% and I hate it. Oof. That is rough. I remember June did tell me that. He was like, you know, you do feel the hit. He said, you do feel the, because, you know, he used to live in the States. He said, you do feel the hit from the slightly higher tax. He said, but it is nice not having to go broke when you go to the doctor. And get medicine. He was talking about the healthcare. I think this was in voice chat. I can't remember when we had this conversation, or maybe it was when I was still there. But he was like, yeah, I think it was when we were still driving around or something.
I'd like to be the first to welcome you
I remember June saying something like that.
International Airport. For the current local time is 7:13 p.m. Please remain seated with the seatbelt fastened and carry them stowed until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. Please be careful whenever opening overhead bins to avoid injury from items that may have shifted during flight. And please ensure you have all your personal belongings, be before deplaning. As we reach our gate, we'd like to invite you to use the Flight Delta app for important baggage and connection information. For customers requesting a Voltron on arrival, we will advise you upon reaching the gate and when assistance is available to disembark the aircraft. You may receive an email.
Okay. Well, at this point, I was kind of like, whatever. Yeah, it reminds me of the story that you guys told me when he went to get some medicine and he actually tried to pull out his wallet and stuff. Some items are only 5%, like when I buy children's clothes. Oh, that's cute. But yeah, I remember him saying that when you guys went to, like, one of the first times he went to the doctor in Canada, he went to go, it was when he went to pick up his medicine, right? He went to pick up his prescription and he tried to pull out his wallet so he's gonna pay for it, you know? Or and you were like, June, come on, let's go. Like, you got the medicine, like, you can just go. Like, he's like, what? I don't have to pay for it? That was a pretty funny one. You pay the 5% GST, but not the 8% PST. I wish I knew what those initials meant. I'm trying to infer, but I can't. I'm not sure. Oh, government sales tax and provincial sales tax. I see. Oh, that's interesting. Hmm. Oh yeah, the Atlanta airport is I think it's, I can't remember what I think they said the Atlanta airport is like one of the biggest, or at least one of the most busiest. I think they said it was one of the most busy airports in like the whole fucking world or something like that. But they made there's some sections that look really nice, at least. Like there's some, like it's not a bad looking airport. It's got some nice little attractions. So I took some photos and videos. It's, you know, it's whatever. They have a subway terminal. Like I actually rode a subway train because it's that big of an airport. So it's like, I could have just walked where I needed to go through there, but I was like, nah, we're getting on the train. I was like, yeah, we're getting on the train. We're going in style, man. I don't know if I'll ever go back to the Atlanta airport, so I was like, I gotta check this out and see what it's like. I did take some video of it. That's funny. Pearson has been voted the worst airport. Oh my god. And see, now I'm curious. I don't know. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say. Because like, I'm kind of curious just to go to the Pearson airport just to see how bad it really is, you know? But between you and another pretty famous Canadian streamer that I've seen both talk about it, I'm kind of like, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't go. Not even out of curiosity, I think I shouldn't go. Because I was like, it sounds pretty bad from what I'm hearing. Here we go, train ride. What the hell am I doing? Oh, yeah, I was trying to be careful not to film people that didn't want to be filmed. That's why. I like that. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Hey! Cats do have 9 lives, yeah. I've never ridden a subway before, and now I can say my first subway experience was at an airport. Not even a true subway that goes into the city. But it looks pretty similar. It looks like you're underground, doesn't it? That's the whole phrase? You didn't know that? No, I had no idea. I thought curiosity killed the cat was it. That's literally, I thought the saying just started and ended there. I never knew there was more to it. Nobody ever told me that.
11. It's the same age as my granddaughter.
I just realized I caught that person's conversation. 11, that's the same age as my granddaughter. Aww. So I had enough layover time that I was like, let's grab some food. Like, let's fucking munch. Let's check out some of the restaurants here. So I was like, let's see if I can find something good. I found the nice little like hole in the wall, as much as it can be a hole in the wall when it's at an airport, when it's at one of like the busiest airports in the world. A little like grill and bar restaurant. It's kind of like my favorite types of restaurants, you know, like Applebee's or something like that. This was not like a chain restaurant. This is just for the airport. I misjudged my time though, but I didn't get overcharged. So the food I asked for, I got to eat all of it comfortably, and I still made it to my plane on time. So it wasn't too far from the gate that I had to wait at. But I had asked for a dessert that I didn't get to eat. But again, I didn't get charged for it because I said I'll take the dessert at the end. But by the time I finished eating, I was like, shit, I gotta go to the gate. Like, it's gonna take off. Like, the plane's gonna leave me. I gotta go. So luckily they hadn't made it yet. The bartender, who was like the waitress for everybody there, you know, she was just like, oh, okay, well, maybe next time or whatever. So I didn't get charged for it, thankfully. But it was close. It was close. I thought I had more time. It felt like I did have more time, but in the time it took for the food to actually come out and then eating it, miscalculated a little bit. So. Yeah. See, look at what time it is here. It's 7:52. This is East Coast time, of course. And it takes off at 11:47. This is the trippy part. You remember how I was talking about the time zone thing earlier? It takes off at 11:47, but we literally arrived at 11, almost the same exact time in San Francisco. So I was stuck in a time loop, and I landed at almost the same time that I left. Almost. Not exactly, but pretty close. Oh yeah, I took these pictures just because I was trying to memorize this. But here's the, no, that's not it either. I was checking this out because I was like, I wonder how this whole thing works. This was just literally for research purposes later. But here's the place I was eating at. I got this watermelon flavored energy drink, which wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. And then it came with this. Can't remember what this was flavored. It's alcohol though. Oh, it was this right here. The Red Bull watermelon margarita. Yeah. And I got it with a little Caesar salad with some pollo empanizado. Some breaded chicken breast. Yeah. And a little side of fries. It was a nice little meal. So I got to enjoy this totally fine. But by the time I finished it, I was charging my phone too. By the time I finished it, yeah, there was no more time for the dessert and it looked tasty. When I saw it, I should have taken a picture of the menu. But the dessert on the menu was actually, it did look pretty tasty. And I'm kind of sad I didn't get to eat it now. But there just wasn't enough time. It was not too long of a layover, you know? So yeah, at this point I'm on the plane. And yeah, I upgraded to I upgraded to first class because, which for a domestic flight doesn't cost anywhere near as much as like an international flight. Like first class, if you're going like, let's say from the States to somewhere in Europe or China or something like that, like if you're traveling really far, like it's one of those flights that literally takes all fucking day, it's very much more expensive. Okay, so this isn't like that, but it is still significantly more expensive. So it's still a splurge. I did splurge a little bit. But I was tired, man. I was, you know, I was kind of like, you know what? I just want to be comfortable for the last leg of the trip. I'm already staying up hella late. You know, I'm going to bed hella late because my plane is not going to arrive at San Francisco until like, you know, like I said, almost midnight. I just want to be comfortable. But damn, when June and Lantis heard about it, they didn't let me live this down either. Just like with the Starbucks thing, they were just like, you son of a... They're just cracking jokes about my my privilegedness being in first class. But look at all this leg room, guys. It was a lot more leg room than you know. And we got snacks. Yeah, the funniest thing that happened, looking back at this, when they came by with the meal cart came by, and they asked if I wanted something to drink, because I'd never had that experience, because I'd never flown first class. I didn't know what to say. They don't give you like a little menu. And they're not in this photo, but see these two seats in front of us? There was like two they might not have been drunk at all. They might have just been really chatty. Or outgoing, I guess. Not chatty, just outgoing. There was these two chicks who kind of giggled at the fact that I was like totally clueless about what you could ask for. Like I was kind of like, you know, the waitress was just kind of like, you know, like, what would you like to drink? And I was kind of like, I don't know. Do you guys do like? I was like, do you guys do like mixed drinks? Like, can I get like a margarita or something? Like, and they started laughing and they looked back at me and they're like, no, you gotta keep it simple. Like, it's not, you know, you're not at a fucking bar, dude. And even the stewardess was kind of laughing too about it. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. Like, I was laughing too, obviously. And I was just kind of like, okay, so how about just? I think I asked for something else that was also kind of ridiculous, and. Again, they laughed, and the person sitting here in this seat turned around and she was like, just ask for like some champagne or something. And I was like, okay, I'll just take some champagne. I don't know. We were just laughing the whole time because of how clueless I was, because it was my first time. Like basically everybody knew it was my first time in first class. So I was just like, oops, teehee. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, there it is. Sky priority. And there's the champagne I asked for. A very nice little champagne. Beer, wine, champagne, pick one. That might have been what she said too. Something along those lines, yeah. They were like giggling and just like turning around and looking at me like, this guy thinks he's at like a bar. She like turned around and looked at me. She's like, she's like, something like that. Something like what you just said. She's like, just champagne, something like that. She's like, it's just, you know, it's simple. Like, you know, you're not gonna get an assortment of like pina. That's what it was. At first I asked for like if they had like margaritas or pina coladas, and that's when they were like laughing and telling me, no, you gotta keep it simple, dude. It's pretty funny. They were very friendly and outgoing though. It was nice. Winding down. That exactly, Lantis, you got it. That is exactly what they were. Yeah. They were like, sir, this is a Wendy's. That was the vibe. And I'm sitting there laughing hysterically at myself for being so clueless. The person next to me was also really nice. You know, it was a good time. We were all just laughing about it. It was good. But yeah, it's kind of just funny being surrounded by pros, people who are obviously used to flying in, you know, let's call this like mini first class, because again, it's nowhere near as expensive as a proper like international flight kind of first class. It's like, which is like 10 times more the price. So I know I'm a noob. I'm sorry. I'm a noob at everything. I'm sorry. Les is like, I've never flown first class, and even I know that. You suck. You see what I mean? You see what I have to put up with, guys? That's what I'm talking about. They don't let me live it down. My cluelessness. I've been living under a rock my whole life. I'm sorry. I'm still getting bullied months later. This is the best sky view that I got of Atlanta, Georgia. The most I've ever seen of this place was from the first season of The Walking Dead. That's it. So I've only seen like the iconic places they showed there, and that's it. Never seen much of Atlanta, Georgia before. Yes, living alone in the desert with only the bunnies to keep me company. Yes, that is my life right now. That is true. Yes, my current occupation has me surrounded by bunnies in the desert. Not a bad life, I gotta say. Not a bad gig. It's only temporary, so it's bittersweet because it's an easy gig. So I kind of wish it wasn't temporary, but at the same time, it is a little isolating. So I'm kind of glad it is temporary. It's you know, it's mixed feelings, mixed emotions. But by temporary, I'm saying like seasonal, you know, seasonal job. Yeah, flying at night is way prettier than in the daytime. If you're lucky enough not to have clouds obstructing your view like this. Okay, that part, hold on, let me go back a bit. This area right here almost looks like a miniature Las Vegas, this zone right here. Look at this. All the colorful lights and stuff. Like, this must be like where all the main tourist attractions are. I don't know what that big red thing is. That must be like, maybe that's a football stadium or something? I don't know. Yeah. So here we get to see the world map. So now you can picture your favorite Final Fantasy world map music, like Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that. And then, you know, this is like where you do the level select. So here, you know, this is where I am. Or, you know, like in Donkey Kong Country when you get onto Funky's flights, you know, the little barrel airplane. You know, you're sitting here and then you just switch over here to San Francisco for me and you click on it. You go beep, and then you see the little icon move over, and then you're there. You just teleport. You wake up and you're already there.
Bruh.
No. I wish it was that easy, but no. This is just, you get to just watch the plane slowly go over there as you fly in that direction. This is real life. You don't actually teleport like that. But you see, this is what I'm talking about. I get like all of my references for stuff that I do in real life. I get it all from video games because I'm such a fucking shut-in. That's why I didn't know what I could even ask for in a bar airplane, in an airplane bar or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it can be a little eerie if the sky is overcast and the clouds below you are glowing orange. Never seen that before, but yeah, that would be a little freaky. I would say. That would definitely be a little freaky. Look at this shit, dude. Can you believe these assholes? They actually did this. Thanks, Trump. If this had been 2 years ago, before that asshole got into office again, this would just say the Gulf of Mexico. But like, as soon as that asshole got into office and declared it the Gulf of America, Google Maps and I guess whatever fucking map system Delta Airlines uses too, all say Gulf of America with Gulf of Mexico in parentheses now. Just like, can you believe this asshole? This is a fucking orange turd, dude. Oh, I see what you're saying. You can tell where the cities are with the light pollution. That's, you're referencing the orange cloud thing, right? Okay, yeah. So like, if you see the clouds glowing orange beneath you, it's because of all the light pollution coming from underneath, lighting up the clouds like that. I get it. Oh wow, that's gotta look interesting. I want to see that. The fuck is this? I might have accidentally hit the camera shutter button here by accident. Unless I was intentionally trying to take a picture of this button, whatever that does. That definitely was an accident. That's less than a second long. Yeah, you can kind of see it here a little bit with the little light clouds that there are. They have that orange hue. Just slightly though, because of the city lights over there. So now I can just picture this, but the clouds are a lot thicker and really, really bright orange, like if it's a really big city like Atlanta. I know, thank you. I'm glad Canada is like, no. But do you guys, like, if you were to go to Google Maps right now and you went all the way down there, I'm pretty sure it would still say Gulf of America because Google is sucking Trump's dick. Like they literally changed that the very next day after he said that shit. I was like, wow, thanks Google. At least you're letting us all know where your allegiance lies immediately, so there's no question. Yeah, there's a few map services that have done that shit. That did that shit like as soon as he declared that crap. See, there it is, Gulf of America. This fucking clown, dude. You know, this is a funny mini story about that. I remember when that happened, obviously people posted YouTube videos about it. You gotta, you know, clickbait, you gotta farm the drama, right? There was one video in particular where I saw the comment section, and somebody was like, wow, I'm so glad, like, what a fool I was for ever thinking Kamala would be better for president. He's like, these are the issues, these are the pressing issues that I needed resolved right here. Like, not groceries costing a fortune or whatever. I needed to make sure that the Gulf of Mexico had the right name on it. Yeah. Like, what a fool I was for ever thinking Kamala could be better at playing president or something. Like, he was being super sarcastic and it was fucking hilarious. Everybody, like, he got hella upvotes on his comment. It was good shit. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So that story I just told, I remember I kept researching a little bit. They did say that if you're looking from other countries like Canada or Mexico or somewhere else, when you look at it, it's the opposite. Yeah, like what Lantis just said. It'll say Gulf of Mexico on, yeah, it'll say Gulf of Mexico and then in parentheses Gulf of America, or it just won't say Gulf of America at all. It's only if you're in America and you access Google Maps from an IP address somewhere in America that you'll see Gulf of America and then it'll say Gulf of Mexico in parentheses. Yeah, I really love that. That comment was, I think I screenshotted it too because it made me laugh so hard. This was like the day after he, you know, he started his presidency and made that declaration of Gulf of America or whatever. That wasn't the day after, but you know, it was shortly after he started his second presidency or whatever. But I just laughed my ass off when that guy was like, what a fool I was thinking that Kamala would be better at playing president. These are the issues I really need to resolve here. He said, not my groceries costing a fortune. No. This is what I really needed solved. Okay, so it does say it the other way around, yeah. Gulf of Mexico and then parentheses Gulf of America. Okay. Am I laughing at something here or am I fucking crying? What is this? Do you guys hear that? I think I was laughing at what I was listening to when I recorded this. Yeah, because I was watching a YouTube video that I normally use to like, it's a VOD from a stream that I normally use to fall asleep, but there was something funny going on in it that even though I've listened to it before, it still makes me laugh, and I was like, why am I laughing here? Obviously you don't hear it in the fucking recording, but it almost sounds like I'm fucking crying, but I know I'm not at this point. I know at this, because like I'm almost home at this point, I'm not crying, like, but it almost sounds the same. I'm just like, what the fuck? What am I laughing at? So out of context. Affordable housing? Nah. Food security? Nah. The Gulf of America? There we go. Crisis averted. Exactly. That's basically what that guy's comment sounded like. It made me laugh so fucking hard. It was so good. He's like, what a fool I was thinking Kamala would be a better president. This is what we needed right here. These are the priorities. I'm glad I actually started my stream on time today, because it's one of my days off, so I was, you know, able to plan things out properly. Because I, you know, decided to extend this stream to another hour, just so we could wrap up this whole vlog here. Because otherwise next stream would literally just be a bunch of this. next stream would just be a bunch of airplane footage. So I was like, nah, let's just squeeze this in with the last bit of Anime North stuff that I talked about earlier. I think it's better that way, you know? Keeps it more focused and concise. So this must be some big city in Oklahoma somewhere. 'Cause we just saw the map. We're in Oklahoma at this point. So I actually timed myself when we flew over Las Vegas. Or no, we flew over Nevada, very much north of Las Vegas, but we flew over Nevada, but I timed it when I saw the airplane lined up with Vegas, because I know where it's at. It's at the very southern tip of Nevada, right? So when I saw that the plane was lined up with where Vegas was, I started timing it, where I looked at the estimate for how long was left to get to San Francisco Airport. Because I wanted to see how much faster it is by plane than it is by, you know, by car. Now, by car, it takes me about 6 to 7 hours to get from Las Vegas to San Francisco. Actually, to San Francisco, it would pretty much be a solid 7 hours, maybe almost 8, probably, depending on traffic. Yeah, see here it says Las Vegas. So when we get there, I started timing it, and I was like, let's see. And I looked at the time, and it said we were going to be in San Francisco in about 54 minutes when we were lined up parallel with Vegas. I was like, holy shit. I was like, damn, planes are fast. Like, you don't see it from up here. It looks like the ground's moving very slow beneath you. But, I mean, you can see right there, like, on these stats here, I think one of them showed the speed we're moving at. Like, we're moving pretty fast, dude. This is like Oklahomies. Like, the fact that I could go from Vegas to San Francisco in an hour on an airplane as opposed to 7 hours in a fucking car. This is why flying costs so much money. The ultra convenience of it. Like, we're already an hour and 37 minutes away. We're not even near Nevada yet. We're in Colorado. Los Angeles. It's Venice Beach. Been here a few times. Oh, that's right. I took a picture of this because I didn't realize this was a thing. Yeah, Delta and its more than 4,000 LA-based employees are excited to bring the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games to Los Angeles in 2028. I had no idea that was going to happen until I saw this. That's why I took a picture of this, because I wanted to remember the fact that that was going to happen. I didn't know that the next Olympics were going to take place in Los Angeles in 2 years from now. That's kind of nuts. Considering what this country's been doing to the rest of the world, I'm shocked. Like, I think I was talking about this with my dad or somebody else. I was like, dude, nobody's gonna show up for this. Like, the way they've been treating anybody who visits from out of the country, like the overzealous goddamn, like, customs immigrations agent, like the political situation basically is like, who the hell's gonna want to come here? Like, I've heard nothing but terror stories from people visiting from like New Zealand or anywhere else, like literally anywhere, getting absolutely fucking harassed, like horribly, horrifically harassed by customs and immigration, just coming in to do like a routine visit, you know, because of how xenophobic, the xenophobic zeal that Trump has charged this entire country with. It's insane. I was like, who the fuck is gonna want to come to the Olympics and get harassed at the airport and shit? You know it's gonna, you know there's gonna be some drama. Like 2 years from now, if this actually goes through, you're gonna hear stories and you're gonna remember this. And we're gonna come back 2 years into my VODs, if I'm still alive, hopefully, and we're gonna see that I predicted this. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's gonna be bad, man. Oh, that's right. We flew right over Half Dome in Yosemite. I haven't been to Yosemite in a while. I definitely want to go back next year, like in the springtime, maybe before or after the Anime North trip. Half Dome is a pretty iconic mountain there in the Yosemite Valley. I definitely want to stay the night in one of the hotels there, for sure. U.S. tourism tanked and hasn't recovered. Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, who the fuck is gonna show up for the Olympics in 2 years when it's only gonna be way fucking worse with this fascist fucking dictator scumbag, you know, ruining the entire tourism industry? Like, who's gonna want to come to the Olympics? Who's gonna want to come to LA knowing that that's gonna happen? Like, they're gonna get harassed at the airport, you know? The story that stood out to me the most was actually it was the I'll try not to drag it on too long because I know this stream's already gotten really long, but it was these two chicks. They were like, I think I remember them saying they were like barely like 18, 19, something like that. They're like they were still like in their late teens or early 20s. Like, they were very young. They came in from New Zealand, and I can't remember if it was one of they were getting like on a connecting flight or something. I can't remember the full details of like when this exactly happened during their trip, but they stupidly mentioned to like the customs airport agents or whatever, that they had actually because they were able to work remotely. They have one of those jobs where they can work kind of online with their laptops and stuff. So they actually, you know, but their employer is back home in New Zealand. Okay. But thanks to the power of the internet, you can still work from somewhere else, right? But because they mentioned that they had done some work on their computer, like in a hotel here in the States, one of the agents got like really mad at them because that they tried to count it as saying that they basically worked without a work visa, and they fucking harassed the shit out of them. And they mentioned at one point they got taken to like. They actually got taken to like a prison cell type area to get interrogated, and they totally stripped them down, like completely naked, and made them lie like down on the ground flat and just like completely exposed, sprawled out, to like supposedly like search them, make sure they don't have anything, you know. And it's just like this horrific ordeal. They basically were almost borderline sexually harassed, you know, stripped down against their will, all this horrible shit. And then when they talked about this and they posted their story, they got a bunch of replies from other people saying you got lucky. Because apparently other people had it way fucking worse. Like, it was even worse than that for a lot of other people that have been visiting the States from out of, you know, from other countries. And I was like, wow. Like, that is absolutely horrific. Yeah, there's been a bunch of stories like that. It's been great for Canada. So yeah, that was something I saw in a news story once, that experience, and I was just like, that's absolutely abhorrent that shit is happening. Yeah, these chicks were almost thrown in. They were basically almost thrown in Guantanamo Bay just because they said that they did a little bit of like a few minutes of work on their laptop without a work visa. You know. There's Yosemite Lakes, Madera, Fresno, Clovis, Modesto, Riverbank, Sierra Nevada, Salinas, Paso Robles over there, Santa Maria, Cambria. I'm glad Canada's getting some tourism though, thanks to the US being so, you know, xenophobic and stupid. Los Baños, California, the bathrooms. That's literally what it's called. Well, they're being, you know, trying to be more formal about it, calling it the baths. It's bathrooms, dude. Same thing, you know. Hugson. Heard of that place. But yeah, it's bad enough you have to suffer indignities in those x-ray machines at the airport, but now getting thrown in a prison cell and stripped down butt naked by some overzealous immigrations agents trying to find an excuse to throw you into some kind of prison without any laws against where the Geneva Convention doesn't apply or whatever the hell they say, you know. It's just like, who the fuck wants to come to the States with that kind of atmosphere? see a reflection of me like this. One of my coworkers drove all the way out to Atlantic Canada for her vacation this year. Ooh. Moved over to the +4 time zone. The far east coast. The middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Did she go visit Prince Edward Island or something? That's the only place I know out there in Atlantic. So, Atlantic Canada. Basically, all the provinces are visiting each other. There's never been a better time for domestic tourism, right? In any other country. They're like, well, America's fucked, so we're not going there. Let's go check out some places here. This country's big enough. There's places we haven't seen here, right? Like if you're in Canada, Mexico, anywhere else. I mean, yeah, why not? I think Sunnyvale, California, right there, is probably the town that the fictional town of Sunnydale is based on. The town where Bunny that kind of works, yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer takes place. Bunny the Vampire Slayer. A bunny that's a vampire slayer. I like that. I'm sure that's been done as some kind of meme post or fan art. That's it. I made it to San Francisco. I made it home. I was like, I did it. I survived. This is the end of the folder. I just have some short clips of like the airport and that's it. My checked baggage, you know, the stuff that went under the plane, when I got it at the, when I picked it up, it actually came with, it had a little sticker on it. It's literally the last photo. You'll see it in a second. The last photo in the album. Newfoundland, PEI, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Okay, those are the places in the Atlantic. The Atlantic Canada. Made it to San Francisco.
An email asking to share your feedback. We value and use your responses to improve your future travel experiences. On behalf of the San Francisco Main Crew, thank you for choosing Delta, and we look forward to speaking to you.
By the way, as we're getting closer to the end, I did forget to say this the last couple of streams, but I've been keeping up on Discord and just wanted to say, well, maybe premature to say congrats, but I'm happy that you and June are starting to are about to like move to a new place. That's hopefully not gonna flood and all that stuff that you guys have been going through recently. So, I'm wishing you guys the best of luck to get the best place that you guys want. I'm cheering you guys on from afar. Thank you. Aw, you're welcome, Lentis. Yeah. I hope it's really cozy. I can't wait to see it when I come visit. Whichever place you guys end up at. Because I know it's not set in stone yet. I know it's not finalized 100%. But wherever you guys end up, I can't wait to see it next year. When I come up for Anime North again. I hope it's really cozy. And Shade is able to enjoy himself like you guys are saying. I will say though, I am glad I got to visit before you guys moved from your current place, because I actually kind of liked the basement vibe a little bit while I was there. I liked looking out at the window and just seeing the sky, like looking straight. This chick might have been the one who was okay. Yeah, I think this chick might have been the one who was sitting here. That was the one who like kind of giggled and turned around and looked at me and was just like, dude, just keep it simple, bro. Like about the drinks, you know. I think it was her. But yeah, I like the little basement vibe you guys had going on, so I'm glad I got to see that place at least once. Final video. That was it. And yeah, this is it. Look, I picked up my luggage. And they put this little sticker on it. You rock. I was like, oh, thank you. This kind of looks like one of those little characters from Headspace or something. The little Headspace app, you know? The meditation app. So somebody who was moving my luggage between the planes, my checked bag here, they put this little sticker on it. They were like, you rock. Lady looked like a seasoned traveler. Yep. She did. Got the fucking suit and everything, man. She was definitely a businesswoman. She knew what was up. And yeah, that's the end. That's the end of the album, so that's the end of my Anime North trip. There it is. Trip complete. There it is. And that brings our vlog series to a close for now. That's it. That's pretty much all the trips I've taken this year. Which is, hey, that's a lot, right? Like, this was an expensive fucking year. It was a heavy hit. I went to Sumicon, Final Fantasy 14 FanFest, and Anime North, and they were all back-to-back in terms of months. They were all a month apart or less. Each one got shorter than the other. Like, between Sumicon and FF14, FanFest was like 4 weeks, and between FanFest and Anime North was 3 weeks. So it was just like 3 back-to-back trips almost. Like, it's crazy. That's why we've been doing these vlogs for so long, because I went to a lot of places. I did a lot of shit. Thank you for the adventures. You're welcome, Lantis, and thank you for joining me as always. And thank you to everybody else as well. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. So let's go ahead and let's get the outro going, because that pretty much brings our vlog series to a close, like I said. This was very fun to just reflect on all this stuff, and especially the Anime North vlogs were my favorite, because I was able to talk with you in June about all this stuff, because it was basically all 3 of us lived through it, so we all had stories to tell. Like, it was really fun. It was a really fun time going through this. So I'm glad this was my last one for now, until I take another like out-of-town trip, which won't be for at least a few months. Like, yeah, my next one is gonna be in about 2 months, so we got some time. So for those wondering what's coming up next, just, you know, to go ahead and preview the what's it called? Let me get the outro music going. I know that was a banger song, I know, but we gotta do an outro. There we go. Let me get the outro screen going, and then otherwise I can't fucking talk. Yeah, well, let's do this one for now. Fuck it. This isn't technically an outro, but I'm gonna yap a little bit, so why not? Screen capture. This one. It's Sarah! Obviously, but not in the same pose we left her in. But, I was gonna say, for those wondering who's coming up next, or what's coming up next, we're gonna go back to the horror marathon that I totally put on pause for like months while I was covering all this shit. Let me move this over here. Oops. There we go. We're gonna go back to the horror marathon that I put on pause for like several fucking months while we were covering all this shit. So we're gonna go back to the final game in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which was, well, the last one I was gonna cover, which is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So that'll be next stream. Because that might take me a minute to set back up, I can't promise a stream tomorrow, but I'm gonna try. I'll make sure to message you, Lantis, like if it goes through. I'll send you a DM. Because it has been a while, and I have to go back to look at the playlist and make sure it's set up correctly so we can just pick up where we left off. But that's the plan for now. So now that we're done with the vlog series, we're gonna go back to the horror marathon that I put on pause for months, and we're gonna start by wrapping up Five Nights at Freddy's, and then from there we'll go to the next game, which I still kind of want to keep a secret. I'm still keeping it, you know, hush hush. It's a surprise. You guys will like it. And well, even though the horror marathon got paused for quite an absurdly long time for the vlog series and the vacations that I took while I was filming the vlogs or whatever, it's kind of nice because now it's gonna line up with Halloween. The horror marathon is literally gonna spill into Halloween for this year, So now it's actually going to line up in a nice way. So, you know, gotta look at the bright side, right? Yeah, good stuff. All right, so that's pretty much the only announcement I wanted to make. You know, where the stream is going next. So with that, like I said, thank you all very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you all very much. As always, please do take care of yourselves, stay safe and don't die, because then you know, then you can continue to enjoy life and spending time with friends and family. So please do remember to spend lots of time with your friends and family. Take it easy out there. Don't do anything too crazy and get yourselves killed or anything like that. There we go. And yeah, just stay safe, everybody. Take care. Bye. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. See y'all next time. Take care. Thank you for watching.
Dylan! Son of a bitch.